and then just to get a heads up on everybody, who is really busy with operations right now? Raise your hand if you're really busy with operations. Okay, that means nobody. I doubt that. Nadine. Okay. Okay. All right. Not enough votes here. Let's go ahead and do this. I do understand operations are important, but sometimes I think it's good to also kind of zoom out and take a look at where we're going as actually a team. Thank you everybody for taking time off your busy schedules. I know, the last thing we need is probably to waste time in a meeting, but let's try to discover what we can discover. I want us to focus once again on a few things, right? Is there any policy that we should change to make, let's say, the work better and more in accordance to this idea of quality stays? Are there any tools that we need to improve? And then is there any team management issues that we need to address? Okay. Let's go over to Lilith. Would you mind being our secretary and sharing the screen? And let's go into the stack today. Yeah. While we get everyone lined up. Thank you, Tendi, and also Gunn for joining us too as well. All right. Let's take a look at it. Gunny, let's go down the line. What you got, Gunny?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Singh, and good morning, everyone. So, for the week one, the first week of the May, wait, am I wrong? Let me screenshot. Uh, Lilis, can you show the 10 May? That's for 5th May. Yeah. Okay. Go down, Lilis. Yes. And then yes, okay. So for the first week of May, we already achieved for the inquiry value. We got 109%. Oh, sorry, 109% of the SLA. We overachieved the SLA, and then
Wow.
the request to book is 187%. But
Okay.
for the instant book, we still 88%.
Okay. Got
Yeah,
it.
please correct me if I'm wrong because we just have a discussion with Lilis in this afternoon for the setting of the SLA and stuff. So yeah.
Okay, got it. Let's see. What I see here is this, Gunny. So there's a massive amount of in-month and out-of-month inquiry value that is combined to almost $632,000, right? The majority of it is the out-of-month inquiry value. So that's coming July, August, later down during the year. That one seems to be the biggest amount of opportunity, inquiry values coming from outside. Okay. And then instant book, most of our instant book, okay, is coming from out of month. And then we have about 20,000 in month. All right, Vidi, break it down for me.
No, I think I would like to further cross-check whether the out-of-month inquiry value for May, right? So it's actually inquiry for day stay of May, but it happened prior to May already.
So that 467 is actually before May began, right?
Before May began, but for day stays of May.
I understand. Okay. So if I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, Vidi. This is where I need your attention, right? That means that value is how well our starting value is in comparison, right? So we got what, like 120 starting value out of
Yeah.
467. Is that correct?
Yeah. So, but it's not directly correlated because you have to not the starting value of the revenue, but the starting value for inquiry conversion.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So from the
So
starting revenue, you have to break it down again to the inquiry conversion revenue, as opposed to the entire starting revenue.
then would it be a mistake if I said that we converted above 25% of the total inquiry value from uh, the total out of month inquiry value? About 120 out of 467.
Less than 120, sir, because 120 is both from instant book and also inquiry conversion, right?
Got
But
it.
I
Got
think
it.
I also provided the graph for inquiry conversion only, so the starting one.
Okay. All right. Regardless, it's basically a huge amount of inquiry value coming in every month. Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay, got it. That looks good. The instant book value is gone up, but still below the SLA expectations. Is that correct, Connie?
Yes, 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 sir.
Okay, it's going up. That's good. Vidi, what do you think is the reason it's going up? Is it anything? Well, actually, wait. This is a Lil's question, or wait, it's a Bayou question if Bayou is here, or any of you can answer it. Have any of the actions that we've taken strategically to try to fix the instant book actually resulted in the increase, or could this increase be explained using random things that are happening in the system?
Because it's weekly report, it will always increase, right, sir?
The starting from the week one instant book.
Yeah, because time have passed. Of course, it will increase. It just what matters is whether we are increasing at a quick enough pace so that by the end of the month we reach the SLA. No, am I wrong, Lilis? Let me inquire back to Lilis.
Okay,
Yes, really.
opening those.
Yeah. Yes, basically, just now after discussing with Gani and Jessica, this is showing the progression, right? So it means that 88% of 100 already achieved, with the progression is actually
Oh,
88
okay.
75.
All
This,
right. I
uh,
thought we got 88% of our. Okay, yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, all right, yeah, yeah. Okay, obviously. Thank you for that. So it's not until we get another reading, right, that we can see what the pace of progression is. Everyone,
yeah.
right? Okay, all right, got it. Okay, all right, thanks for that. Thank you for the report, Gunny. So 88 basically means it's, I guess it's going to be on progress because it looks like it's moving pretty quickly up to 100%, but it just hasn't reached it yet. All right, the requested book is still actually really high. Is there a reason for that? Actually, let's go over to Lilith. The requested book value seems we're overachieving on the requested book value.
Yes, that's correct. So, where do I observe? I'm not really sure. Let me open the guest
Okay,
SLA. Because
okay,
when you're not looking at the full picture, it's
okay.
a bit confusing. I observed that actually the value, which is the request to book, is this one, right? From wait, that's April. Sorry for this one. Uh oh, we are not really recording it. This is a failure of our data. It should be able to track whether the request to book, because in the first week, we just noticed, right, sir? That's the request to book value is high, that is not converted. Therefore, uh, Jessica blocked the calendar to reduce the request to book that is unconverted.
That's correct.
Over the our, I think this one is, since I'm not really sure when this is latest updated, Jessica will have the best visibility, but we can measure whether the request to book value is decreasing or not by comparing the latest value that we see to the second latest value that we see. So
Okay.
perhaps in this case, VD can help us with improving the data visualization indicators where we can track the data over a point. Jadi nggak uh, the latest data, but over a certain dates, so we can see the progression. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Vidi, I understand Bayou has a program to try to get all the requested book listings up on Instant Book. Is that been communicated to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if
Uh,
that's then what we should see is the requested value now shifts over to Instant Book then, right?
yeah, it will slow down the request to book and even stop it, and then it will be converted to instant book.
Okay, so that's what success would look like then basically, right? For this lower requested book, higher Instant Book, and that sort of value just shifts over to Instant Book.
Yes, sir. The value will not be lower because it is already recorded. But it will slow down, and then the increase every
Increase
week will
value,
become
yeah.
zero. Yes, the
Yeah.
increase value becomes zero, and instant book should be going up if the market is heading
Okay.
towards the RTB listings.
Okay, got it. Let's go over to Nadine. Nadine, I understand a lot of frictions on reservations comes from dealing with RTBs that are essentially unfulfillable. Is that correct?
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah, yeah. It Most of them are unconvertible.
Okay, so let's look at this as a tool strategy then, Nadine. If we get the tool to actually formulate the listings correctly, such that requested book listings now become instant book, people don't need to request a book and we don't need to decline, then that would essentially save a bit more bandwidth on the reservations team to process and to kind of take care of things, right?
As long it could be accurately, as long it's accurate, it should be helpful, sir. Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's details matter on everybody who's going to work on the tool transition because if it's not accurate, what happens, Nadine?
Overbooking and
Right.
many other tasks. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So any value created by having the tool go to instant book, if it's not accurate, goes into a disaster, right? So Vidi, in this particular thing, I would probably start phasing it in rather than making a big transition all at once, right? Because that way you get to change a little, see what happens, change a little, see what happens. Vidi, is there a rollout plan for this, or do you?
Sorry, sir, but I think the implementation, the execution itself is from content team, right?
Oh,
The
is
one that
it?
may still
Okay,
Kit.
okay. Let's go over
Over to
to
Kagani then.
Gani.
Yeah, so one of the solutions to solve the FTP listing, the multiple rooms that make FTP, so by using iCloud, but that's a bit risky, because Socket had some bugs recently. So it is very risky if one room is blocked, but then the automation is not working for the other room. So a little
Oh, I
bit
see.
risk
Okay.
for if there is bug happen.
Okay. This particular idea might need supervision then. Lilith, can BI supervise the uh, feasibility of this, right? We just, oh, okay, there's some, okay, this is a sub discussion, right? Bayu, I think you're leading this, so I'll just leave it up to your side when it's able to become implemented in. I'm just setting the expectations for everybody, okay? We might need to take a little bit of a risk in order to save a lot of time and also make our work easier, right? So the risk is if we switch over all the RTBs to be instant book, then of course we don't need to deal with this reservation crap. It's a big signal, it's a big distraction. But we just need to make sure that, like Nadine said, it's accurate so it doesn't create any false things. The technicalities I'll just delegate to between Bayu Gani and Vidi to ascertain. I'm sure you guys already understand the stakes, right? Okay. If that sounds good, give me a thumbs up. If not, let's continue talking about it. But I think that's the right direction to go. Yeah. Give me some feedback. Okay. All right. Cool. Let's the awareness. Yes. Yes. Awareness. Please go into the tools room because I think by getting that tool right, we can actually greatly improve the function of our squad. Okay. Thank you, Gani, for your update. Let's go to now the next update to conversion. All right, Nadine, tell us about what's happening in conversion.
Okay, for the stats and number, you guys can actually observe the attachment that I already attached. So, since the value of the starting month is already big, so we achieved the percentage of achievement for this week for beyond 100%. Yeah. So it's if you can go up a little bit, Coffee D. So for now, we already achieved around 47,000 something USD. So not actually the operation of reservation still doing as usual right now, and but we plan to reduce reservation load by secure policies and enforce short-term booking to be proceeded in Airbnb. And I think what one of the factor why instant booking is probably increased is because the inquiry that coming to air support right now, if they only want to booking for like daily bookings, we enforce them to book through Airbnb by instant book instead. So yeah, that's basically it for now, sir.
Okay, are we on SLA, below SLA? I just need to get some idea around that, Nadine.
For the percentage achievement, yes, we are actually beyond the SLA. But for the inquiry count, we're still below the SLA, which is 9%.
Okay,
The
got it.
inquiry count number, yeah.
Okay, got it. All right, let's continue. For the most part, what I see happen is this. The reservation team is now very compact and small, which is good in some ways. I think there's much better adoption. but it's mostly a labor and overhead issue, right? You just need to get more people on your team. We got Chandra. I understand Chandra being on the team has helped. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have I been helpful? And you can be honest with the night shift.
Yes, yes. It's been
Okay, all
helpful.
right. So we've reduced by that, and then we probably also want to get Caroline back, who was one of our interns back in the early day. There's some mixed feelings about whether she might contribute or not, but I suggest we put her through trials just to make sure. Yeah. What do you think?
Yes, sir. I will
Okay.
agree.
Okay. So we're going to try to up the account on that. Meanwhile, do I have anybody from HR here? I do not. Meanwhile, this is what's happening. I think there's 6 or 7 people in the pipeline now, Nadine, for online guest support. I do hope that that should be enough to find 1 or 2 good candidates out of that. So I do believe that this problem with not having enough team members in this particular thing is going to get resolved. Nadine, yes, over to you.
Actually, right now the load is more to the hosting team, sir. What makes reservation team have more loads? It's because some of the hosting loads come to the reservations. That's what makes reservation team feels load.
Okay, okay,
But
okay.
now since it's a high season and then so many check-ins, hosting team is have more workload actually than the reservation.
Okay, the people we're hiring are HAR now, right? They're online support and reservation, so they'll be able to do both, I guess. Okay.
Yes.
They will go where they're needed, essentially, to fulfill the idea. Okay. All right. This one, I'm not sure, Nadine. What can we do to improve the conversion rate? I think the adoption is pretty good now. I think the tools. I do have a few suggestions of strategy of what we can do. And maybe that's what we can discuss in the breakout. Let's go into the strategy discussion, strategy breakout, and I'll show you a few things that we can do to maybe improve the policy. Okay? Okay. All right. Thank you. If you agree with that, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, then let me know. Okay. All right. Let's proceed. Um, Anybody? Okay. All right. Cool. Let's keep on going. Next to transformation. Oh no, actually product. Let's go to Nadia. Nadia, what's good?
Okay, hello. So for the product development team, it's actually regarding the update for the reservation communication tools with ManyChat.
Excellent.
So we already hand over the tool to the reservation team and should be utilized by Nadine. And
Okay.
also we need the actionable result from the awareness for the new reservation WhatsApp number to be updates on website and also other platform as well.
And
And
we're good.
yeah, and regarding the event timeline project, it's already on production actually and can be used by the data scientists.
I'm loving that. Okay, excellent. Event timeline over to, let's see, Vidi on data science. Are we seeing any correlations right now between, can you tell us any stories?
So
What has resulted in what?
it's the data has just been reported this
Okay,
afternoon, so it hasn't been processed,
okay, all right.
but
Let's
we're
spend more.
able to pull it up
Okay,
already.
excellent. Let's get some stories in. That's what I want to see, right? We have an event timeline. So what we should expect as a squad now is we should actually see what is resulting in what. What cancellation policy did it reduce the total number of whatever, right? Cancellations that happened. Did this result in that? So let's get those insights in here so that the entire squad knows which way to turn. Over to Nadine. Nadine, this integration with ManyChat, is it helping things or are we still experiencing some adoption frictions? What's the status with ManyChat?
Actually, I'm still surfing right now, sir. So I haven't got any insight yet. For now.
Got it. Let's see. Can I get a opinion? Do you need a strategic opinion on this one? Like somebody to go in, experience a little bit, and give you their thoughts?
Sure, but the adoption right now is still low for now because it's still me using this.
Oh, okay. What's the friction to get the rest of the team to use it right now?
Um, I think um, I think this is just they apa namanya PD team needs me to be the MVP first.
Okay. Back over to Bayou then in this particular case. Bayou, MVP, what do you think about that? What's your rollout plan?
Uh, Wait, I think we already roll it out. So it's based on the user, right? So there's wait, communication flow right here.
Okay.
And right now, what we are solving is reservation problem.
Okay.
Before we have four channel,
Right.
air support one, air support two, live chat, agent. Now we reduce it to only one in
Right.
ManyChat.
Okay.
So basically all the reservation channel is now only handled by Nadine because that's Instagram and Facebook, and Nadine can just log in ManyChat. No need to log in on multiple accounts.
Okay.
Also, the new WhatsApp number also will go into ManyChat, and
Understood.
this is only handled by one person because
Got
the
it.
other person, Gray, is only handling Airbnb. So there's no need for that to be used in ManyChat.
Okay. Got it. Nadine, can MiniChat be delegated to Chandra?
Yes, possibly. If
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But I can coordinate with Tendi as well since Chandra is assigned to do hosting, right?
Oh, and this is a reservation channel or is this a customer support channel?
For now, it's
Reservation.
It's
reservation.
reservation. Okay, understood. Understood. Okay. So besides you doing reservations, there's no. Oh, right, because we terminated Wendy. Okay. Is there nobody else who needs to adopt MiniChat then, Nadine?
For now, we don't have delegates, sir.
Okay, let's see. Okay. This sounds like it could be a team management adoption issue. Okay. Bayou, here's what I'm thinking. If Nadine's the only person who uses it, then it won't be at its full strength, right? We kind of need to circulate it amongst the other people who do reservations. What do you think?
No, because that's the assignment anyway, right? I mean,
Yeah.
one person focus on one channel. I mean, we can ask Gray, but then who will take care of the Airbnb if we only
Oh, is that what's happening? Okay, Nadine, back to you. Okay, all right. You don't work on Airbnb, right? Is that correct?
I only the proxy if Gray is off.
Oh, I see. Okay, then that's fine then. Okay, all right. Let's call that a win then. So, by
uh,
is that a win? That means the thing is
yes,
as
for
long
this
as
part.
okay,
For this part and for the scaling, basically, if Nadine get another person, that another person can just be added into ManyChat and that's done. Um, yeah, and the second part is the hosting part. So
hmm
we want to split that right between reservation and hosting. So
yeah,
the plan is basically what happened in this WhatsApp number in Instagram that's on the reservation stage goes into this one ManyChat A dashboard, and the hosting part, the number that we use on Airbnb, and then the WhatsApp number that will be available for that number will be on
MiniChat.
another dashboard of ManyChat. So
Okay.
anyone that's working on hosting only will be contacted by someone that's already confirmed, basically. That's the next plan.
Now, if somebody books on MiniChat A, do they continue their reservation and their hosting experience on MiniChat A, or do they get passed off to MiniChat B?
Uh, the best practice right now is the person from reservation will tell the guest that someone from the hosting team will contact them, or you can contact the hosting team.
And then so it does happen. It does transfer over, right, to
Yeah,
the second
yeah.
MiniChat. Okay, so you
But right
isolate
now it's
reservations.
yeah. Right now it's not on ManyChat, so it's difficult because there's Air Support 3 and Air Support 4. So
Understood.
yeah, need to be specific to give the guess. But
Okay.
when we change that to ManyChat, it will be easier because just
Okay.
one number.
Got it. Okay, Tiara, you seem like you're a fan of this. All right. Let's see. So essentially, reservations act like a reservation agent, and then they pass it over to property managers, and property managers then carry through the rest of the experience. Okay, I like that. That's essentially a pretty clean SLA then. All right. Okay, let's go ahead with it. Nadine, we just need your feedback over to Nadia from time to time during these discussions about if you feel any frictions or if the transition is going well. So let's get your first feedback today. Is the transition going well compared to the day before?
The transition, for now, I still haven't got any converted yet for now, sir, because
Okay.
I just get handed over to me yesterday.
Okay. But does it feel easier for you to use rather than opening like 4 different
Mm,
platforms?
yes, for sure.
Okay.
Because I need to open Instagram and air support. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Then the tool is actually reducing your, it's making your work easier. You're not digging with a spoon anymore. You have an excavator. Okay, that's a positive progress report. Then I would say, Nadia, in that particular case. Okay, so good. Thank you very much, Nadia, for your contributions. That inspires why. Let's keep on going. Next, over, I think it's to Tendi on transformation. Let's get that in. Yeah. Okay, Tendi, tell us what's in the thing.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So, yeah, the first for the revenue breakdown, the top contribution is from the unique, which is the first guest that booking, and
Okay.
then for the extraction value is currently on the 9,000 US dollar.
Okay.
It's higher than last month. From the total revenue is 8,000,
Okay.
8.2. The extension rate on May is lower than last month,
Okay.
which is last month is 6.6, but the revenue is higher. But
Okay.
we still keep maintaining the rate as well because we need to balance the rate and then the revenue.
Okay.
And then for the guest repeater is the value is 31,000. Yeah, that's on that there are still some loyal guests that booking with us again.
Okay.
And then the unit stay it's higher than last month,
Okay.
which is on the first week is sound is good. And then for the guest referral is currently is on the 400. Yeah, not much
Understood.
because yeah, some of the guest referral referral they requested, but there is no availability, sir, like that. So it's
Understood.
kind of like hard to
I saw
because
that.
they want yeah,
Okay.
like that. And then in below, can I still continue,
I
or do
need
you
to
have
know
any?
what those percentages mean, Tendi. What does the percentages just above showing it's Lewis, if you could scroll up just a little bit. What does 7, 7, 14 mean? 29, 27, 57, and what's the columns in those
Uh,
percentages?
uh, the percentage of the its category of the its guest type contribution, sir. For example, like the extension is contribute 14% of the total revenue,
I
current
see.
total
Okay,
revenue.
understood. Let's go over to the Lewis. Lewis, I don't understand how something could be 135% of the total. That makes no sense to me. What's the reason for that?
Yes, I also confirm that that should be wrong. Later on, Jessica needs to investigate why is the total exceed 100%. It should be 100%.
Okay, all
So
right.
most so far, yep, it
Okay.
might be wrong statistics.
Okay. All right. So there might be some data that needs to be checked. Okay. Let's keep on going then, Tendi. That data is not good data, so we need to improve the data. Every number should add up to 100%. You have the numbers now adding up to almost 200%, I think. So
Yep.
that one needs to be cleared. Okay. Next.
Okay. For the cancellation, currently the rate is 19%. It's still below the SA, sorry, already achieved the SLA, but it's increased of around 1% from last week. And do the some overbooking guests that ask for refund after, but they cancel it first and then they ask refund like that, sir.
Okay.
And then for the gas extend, it's not much as well. It's increase only 0.5% because the availability. And then the gas repeater is also is increased with rate currently is 21% for the gas repeater. So and then the check-in and communication rating is not showing the data. I think there is a error already does, but I need Cinta to check it because I had checked it. There are some review already on the review list, but there is no rating on the redas, so I cannot get the rating. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So we have some data integrity issues today. Let's go over to actually a quick one, Tendi. What is the cancellation SLA?
25%, sir.
25%. Oh, is
Yeah.
that correct? We're expecting 25% of our value to be canceled?
The maximum, but I think we need to refine that
That's
as well,
shocking.
sir, because like
But
on Airbnb the cancellation rate I think 2%, right, if I'm not wrong,
Yeah,
per
yeah,
Airbnb.
25% is horrendous. That means, Nadine, and her team works every 4 hours. They lose 1 hour due to
But
cancellations.
this is this is the percentage. I think including the odd month as well, sir. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, the out of month. Okay, so it's in the future
Yeah,
still.
okay, the whole month they cancel from last year, but it's the data. I think it's shown now, so it's big number. I think if we want to reduce the cancellation SLA, we can get rate like a in month
Okay,
cancellation, right?
that sounds like it's a BI question and a strategy issue. But could we just decide what our cancellation rate means? Does it mean in month or out of month? And just kind of narrow it down, just focus on that and give that a good value. Does that sound right, Bite?
Yeah, okay. So basically on the gas SLA, the cancellation rate that we tolerate, so there's a cancellation toleration.
Yeah.
That's basically 20% or 18%. Yeah, 20%. That's from the in month that
Oh, I see. From where we start out, right? Our circumstance.
out of month. Sorry, yeah, the starting revenue, right? So
Right.
any bookings that we receive this month but then canceled, it doesn't count. But because yeah, we just say that it's
Okay.
not a booking, it's not a successful booking because the
Got
book
it.
that cancel. But
Okay.
the retention, here we are talking about retention of past guests that book long way before
Yep.
this month, but
Okay.
how we make those guests not
Okay.
cancel the booking
Okay.
basically. So
I think
that's
I
the
understand. All right. So cancellation. Listen, everybody. I think this is what it is. Bite. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Right. So we started the month, let's say, with 100. I know we started with more, but let's just say we started with 100. So our tolerance for cancellation is if it gets down to 80 by the last day of the month. Right. That is our cancellation SLA. If it drops to 75, then it's actually we're it's 25%. Right. So is it 25%? Bite. I want to be
20,
correct.
20.
Okay, so it drops to 80, that's okay. If it drops to 75, that's not okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And I think we have also cancel if you want to monitor it. I think we have a calculation for weekly quota as well. You can request the data to Lilis or VD. I think we have the dashboard for that.
Okay, understood. So let's say for today, for example, today we are about at 107, right? With the starting in-month revenue, and we have like, I don't know, 20 something out of month revenue. Our target's 155. So we're expecting that 107 to be kind of cut down a lot more, probably to, I don't know, maybe 80 or something. And then, but the in-month revenue, hopefully that we make will compensate for it, and that's how we clear our revenue goal. Is that correct by you? Bayou's muted.
Oh, sorry, I'm saying yes. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty clear to me. So listen up, everybody. Every month when we begin, we start out with a big pile of cash. That cash gets whittled down because of cancellations. As part of our strategy, we're trying to reduce that cancellation by shifting the cancellation policy. Jessica's working on some of those right now. She's focusing, I think, in Sadua on some of the lot properties. Those get a lot of cancellations and high values, and they take chunks of money out of our starting revenue. So if we can preserve that, not have that cancellation go down as much, then it works. But yeah, the question: when somebody cancels and we make the policy more strict, right, and we get like let's say 50% of that value back, is that currently being registered as it's not right, Vidi? It's not being
Yeah.
registered as 50%, right? Okay, over to
No,
Vidi.
it's yeah.
Right now, what we're recording in Ridesh, like previously, I think the policy was made to about almost 2 years ago. It's better
Okay.
to under-report than over-report.
Of course.
Cancellation bookings is only recorded in finance last step, not
I got
really
it.
in
I
our
got it.
sales
Okay,
dashboard.
understood. So what video you're telling me is whenever a cancellation happens, it's a value of 0, even if it's not 0, right? Because
Correct,
maybe.
sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
but it is still recorded in our PNL.
Okay.
I've made sure that finance take note of that.
Okay, that's understood. So the good news, everybody, is if we see a large amount of cancellations happen, maybe we got some of that money back. But what's going to actually get us that money back is changing the policy. Yeah.
Correct. But previously we did investigate like how much is the cancellation value itself, and it was most of it are full refund, and that's why
Of
we
course.
have
Yeah.
this plan to.
Oh, yeah, that was a safe assumption. Okay, but we're changing that policy, everyone. And so in the future, when people cancel, perhaps we will still get something. Okay. All right. Thank you, Tendi, for that. Let's continue going down to advocacy then. Next, who's got the advocacy report? Lewis, let's keep on scrolling down. Tiara. All right, Tiara, step up.
Okay, so everybody, so for advocacy for this week, actually, we are performing very well in the first week of May because the number is still uh, being reverted by the end week of the April. Like on the first week of May, we have 30%, but
That's
in
excellent.
at the first week of May until this week, the review is going straight down. Kak Tendi explained to me because there is a lot of review that hasn't been going inside from the staying of from the first week of May until the second week of May. So for this week, we are at 3.19%,
Mhm.
which is not achieved, but we increased 1% from last week. And for the guest referral, we had 4 guest referral for this week. Still not achieved from the SLA, but we are improving. And for the guest shared experience, we have one. We still have one for this week. And for the can you scroll down? And also, okay, for the friction in advocacy, from now on, uh, I noticed that I failed to maintain weekly guest review activity because due to the high of operational. But after Kak Chandra coming, I managed to make times to uh, do the guest review, so our review conversion rate will be increasing.
Got it.
And
Okay.
also, I found some tools issue. Actually, I already discussed this with Cinta from BI.
Okay.
So this is what Andy already mentioned that guests already have live review, but it's not detected. So
Understood.
yeah.
Okay. Tiara, this sounds like it's a team management issue. If I could get you people, let's say interns, to help you process the reviews, would that make your life easier?
Yes, sir. I actually already asked as last week. I already said that CM intern will help me that audition and Giselle, but they only can help with sending the review reminder to guests. But the guest review should be done by hosting team because we have to make sure that these guests have what the history of this guest booking, like if he is having a good stay or not. So
Oh my
this
God.
is why we
Okay.
have.
Let me go over to Bayou for that. Bayou, that really then slows down our hosting team's work to leave reviews for guests. I think the default policy before was just every guest gets a good review. Yeah. That makes it easy for everything. Bayou, what do you think about that?
What I understanding is that we send review automatically. No need to do that.
Oh, okay. Even
Yeah,
different.
the system should do that automatically, right?
Does it it automatically leaves a review for a guest, right?
Yes. After few days, I think it
Okay.
automatically send a message and then also
Okay.
submitting a review.
Let's go over to BI. Oh, wait, you are BI.
Mhm.
Is there a way to measure that? Is there a way that we know whether or not what is our guest? Can we just look on Airbnb and see what our guest?
Sir?
Yes, over to Sandy.
Yeah, I think there is misunderstanding here. So maybe I will make it clear. So
Sure.
what TR mean is like for the review reminder, it's already handled by Audition and Giselle, right?
Okay.
And then the review reminder, it's automatic on the bigger that's sending for few days. But we got also the notification on Slack if the guest still doesn't leave the review on the few days. So we send
Oh, you.
twice like the reminder. If because the guests have 14 days, right, to send the review. So on the first reminder, the guest still doesn't left review, then we send the second one like that.
Okay. Okay.
And then what we mean is the reviews by host.
Okay.
So that's need to be handled by the host itself, because we know which the guest that good stay or not. But I'm thinking that we can use the bigger in the internal note. So if someone want to help to leave review, so they need to check on the checking list on the internal notes, is it this guest have a good stay or not, like that, for example. So yeah, because
Okay.
we need to leave the future guest.
Okay, there's three ways of doing things right now. There's the highly manual way where we ask the host to actually leave a review for a guest. There's the automatic way, which is where we automatically leave a review for a guest no matter what. And then there's the semi sort of manual way where we just leave good reviews for guests manually. Buddy, what's going on here? I'm confused.
Not sure actually what is the reason behind that, because I think if our strategy is this, basically after a guest check out, what we do is we send a goodbye message and asking them to leave a review, and then a few days after that, just in case the guest will
Oh,
not,
okay.
and then we send another message to send the review, so that the guests get a
Oh,
notification from Airbnb that we have sent a review, so they would
right.
probably more likely to leave a review.
And that's
That's the
automatic, right?
strategy.
That part's automatic. We automatically fill out
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
review for a guest. Okay,
right.
got it.
So I'm not sure about the manual thing, why
Well,
we
good
do
thing we're
it.
talking about it right now, because if we're putting good hosting labor to do this thing that's automated, that might not be a good use of time, right? Would you agree, Tendi?
Yeah, yes. Ya, because we also got the notification on Slack, right? Ya, Vidya, untuk yang kalau misalnya dia
Yep.
belum leave review.
Okay.
I
All
think
right.
the
This is
issue
what we
is
do.
that the review for guest automation stopped.
Oh, we did.
Maybe Nadia can check that for the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do this. This sounds like a breakout between Vidi and TR and Intendi. Okay, so once you guys break out, figure out how the tools can be automated. TR, Intendi, I don't want hosts to spend any time doing the guest review thing. Just give all guests a great review. That's done, right? You guys should be taking care of guests. This process is automatic. If the guest wasn't a good guest, then okay, we accidentally gave a bad, good review for a bad guest. But that I'd rather the process keep on going, right? And we do get bad review. Look, if we get a bad review, we deserve it. That's the way I see it, right? If there's a bad review, I'd rather it come out than not come out. So I think Airbnb also prefers that too, by the way, everyone. They prefer you get a bad review than a sequence of guests don't give you reviews, okay? Because that at least tells them something's happening. All right. So in that particular case, just does anybody have any opposition to the policy? All guests get good reviews. That way, anybody can do it. We can pick an intern to do it. A robot can do it, and we don't need to take hosting energy away to fill out this guest whatever. Right? That's just too much energy. We could do it back in BV4, but not BV5. Yeah. If you agree with that, give me a thumbs up. If you don't agree, give me another signal. Yeah. Okay.
Actually,
Okay.
I have another idea, right? So this automation thing, right? This automation is actually helping. It automatically leave good review and bad review, depending on what we put on bigger. There's an option during guest checkout. If guest checkout is happy or not happy. If happy, the message would be different. If not happy. So why don't we use that?
Yes, I'm happy.
Right.
Leave him a bad review.
Bayu, Mas,
Yes.
sebenarnya yang frictionnya itu adalah
Okay, sub-discussion.
Guest, right?
All right. Sub-discussion.
Yeah.
This is absolutely a sub-discussion. Okay, please, if you're in that group, please talk to Bayou Vidi. They'll inspect the tool and understand it, and you guys figure out what needs to be done. Okay? All right, that's that. Okay, so everyone kind of understands their breakouts now, except I didn't give transformation a breakout, actually. So let's see. Give me a second here. So inspection, let's have that done by Lilith. Okay. Team management, Ara is not here, so I guess it'll be Jing. And then we'll add one more group, a third group here, and that will be tools. And let's just get Bayou and Vidi in that group, okay? One more thing. This one's pretty important. Bayu, you mentioned something earlier that we as a company tend to ignore bad signals, right? Coming from guests. Could you talk a little bit more about that?
Not guests, actually, partners.
Oh, partners. Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah. So that's a different discussion.
Okay. Could the same thing happen here, where we are looking only at quantitative data across our entire guest population? We don't actually zoom in on a particular guest complaint or zoom in on a sequence of guest complaints that occur in the same location or whatever. Could that blind our ability to actually see where there's a guest issue?
Yeah, I think we have visibility issue because usually verbally guests will say that to the staff, and
Right.
staff probably will not bring that to us.
Right.
The second source is from the review.
Right.
We know the number of review, but we don't read the review. What are their complaints or concern? Actually, there
Right.
are six fields that they fill in, right? So
Right.
and we never read that.
Right. Okay. All right. Listen, everybody. This could lead to a gigantic blind spot like we've had in the past. Lilith, I think that might have happened in the partnership, right? On the partnership, in aggregate, everything looks good, but then because we didn't listen to particular complaints, we missed something, right? That they were trying to tell us. So that's something I think about right now as well, but I don't have a quick solution for that. Buddy, that's probably a COOBI discussion, right? So we'll probably reserve it for that opportunity. Okay, in the meantime, I'll start the breakout session, and please go ahead and find yourself into the correct breakout and get your problem resolved. Once you have it, please report to Lewis what your solutions are, and let's get everything done correctly. Okay, let's do it. Hmm.
Delicious.
Hello?
Yes, ladies.
Hello,
Okay, hi everybody.
Nadine.
Okay, Nadine, let's get you in first.
Okay.
Let's see. Nadine, you ready?
Yep, sir. So yeah, tadi the last discussion we had just previously itu to figure out what are the things to actually improve our conversion rate, Jessica. But in terms of revenue generated from the inquiry conversion, it's above the SLA, right? Am I right, Jessica?
That's because the target SLAs, like the monthly SLAs, there are still some values that need to be
Yes.
revised.
Yeah, that's
That's
it.
why the achievement seems super high in this case.
Yep, because the revenue SLA is not changed yet, right, Jessica?
Yep.
Okay.
But actually, the concern now is that we discussed with awareness earlier that we have lots of revenue potential brought in from awareness side. But yeah, I'm not sure if this inquiry potential is able to be converted with the current like situation in the reservations team, the load.
Okay. Have you been observing the Airbnb reservation lately, Jessica?
I've been like not focusing on that.
Okay. So yeah, actually, I'm looking for the insight. What can be done better in the reservation on Airbnb to actually convert the big fish and increase the conversion actually. Yes, sir.
I have a few suggestions actually. You know what, Nadine, this is great because I realize some of the things that we normally talk about in conversion can actually be talked about here. May I present?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, fantastic. What I see, everybody, is that there are categories of inquiries that slow down or inhibit us to be able to, let's say, work at full pace, right? Things like, does your place have an extra bed? Things like, is the Wi-Fi any good in the particular location? Things like that, right? So every time I get that, I've realized in taking inquiries, I have to stop, and I actually don't really know. And to be really, really honest, for a question like Wi-Fi, even if there was a measurement saying that it was 50 and 50 Mbps up and down, I don't know how many people are there, right? I'm not sure if there's 16 or 20 or 100 people in the place. So will that affect the Wi-Fi speed? Of course it will, right? So these are particular things that I've noticed that probably need to have some sort of standard or some sort of explanation, some sort of expectation that we can mutually agree upon, all right? Nadine, when people ask you about Wi-Fi, generally, how do you answer that particular question? Is the Wi-Fi any good in Villa Bahagia?
I usually answer it like this. Okay, so the Wi-Fi speed, the latest we check is this Mbps, and then most of our guests right now doing working from the villa, especially if it's a guest house. I will say that, and then so far we got no complaint about the Wi-Fi connection, so I could say that this is a suitable place for you.
Okay. And as soon as, let's say, a problem happens with the Wi-Fi and that triggers a hospitality complaint, right? What would you do in that case then?
Yeah, that's it, sir. And now it's not. I'm not going to know whether it's gonna be a complaint or not because it's defined. You know, I don't handle hosting team, but
Right.
probably hosting needs to deal with that. Yeah.
So that's actually an example of something that perhaps should have a policy around it, right? What do we actually say? What do we actually do? So Jessica, Lilith, these are things that we're looking for at the moment of how do we actually solve this particular issue. Wi-Fi, the way I like to put it is we should talk about the worst day rather than talking about the best day, right? Because we all know what can happen, right? Your Wi-Fi can knock out. That's no guarantee. Even in America, sometimes the Wi-Fi isn't reliable. So I think we need to think of, okay, what is the policy solution in this particular case? Let me show you one thing that I noticed. Okay, this isn't about Wi-Fi. This is about check-in. Okay, Nadine, is it true that we spend a lot of time and we have a lot of grievances about check-ins with our guests and our partners?
We have a lot of what, sir?
We get a lot of friction, let's say, arranging guests check-in and also partners and everything, connecting everybody at check-in time.
Yeah.
Okay. So for example, BI, this is one of the things we need to think about. What would be a easy check-in policy, right? So imagine you could write this, everybody. What time is check-in? You just say this. We're 100%, wait. You can check, just imagine this, right? Anytime anybody asks about check-in, yes, over to Tendi. Tendi, what? Tendi's not here. Okay. Anytime, let's say, Nadine, anybody asks about check-in, you could just say this. You can check in anytime you like. Here are the self-arrival instructions. Okay. That would simplify everything, right? Partner doesn't have to worry. We don't have to worry. Guest comes in whenever they want to check in. Okay. So then how would we do that? So I think we already explained there was a mechanism that we could do it. So essentially, key box on the door. Once they come in, there is a poster on the wall here. They scan the poster, and it gives them a guidebook to the entire property. Okay, so then they are essentially fully equipped to answer most of their own questions. And if it's a guest house, then there's a tray with all the keys with the person's name on it, like a pickup order. Yeah, and then you just pick up your key and you go about, right? So Lilith, these are examples of essentially like ideas that can, policy ideas, right? Innovation ideas that essentially like reduce the friction across the entire experience. They simplify the guest check-in, right? They simplify the way we do reservations. They simplify the way we do hospitality. And they also simplify the way that a partner needs to respond or be active. So what do you think of this, Lilith?
Yeah, I think this is a scalable solution in this case. Just need to make sure if everything ready before check-in, as I mentioned previously.
Right, and that's easier to control, right, than waiting or just anticipating when a guest shows up, because that we can plan. When a guest checks in, we cannot plan, right? Okay, so then this is the key stat that I want you guys in BI to take a look at. I'm going to tell. Wait, how much time do I have? I'll get 2 minutes. Quick story. Lilith, a few years ago, I don't know if you were with the company back then, but a few years ago, we collected a huge list of everything we needed from Airbnb so that we could actually manage our listings really, really well. And guess what? They built it for us. They built everything we asked them for. So we asked for, is there a way you could break down essentially if there was a problem with cleanliness in a particular property? They built that. There's a filter on the Airbnb dashboard that lets you see that. There's a filter for almost everything that we need to do as hosts in order to make our properties easier and less problematic for guests. So like here, right? Anything that essentially, and this is self check-in, anything that's not 100% is actually create a solution for such that it reduces the friction for hosts, for partners, and for our guests, right? So this is at 38% right now, Nadine, for self check-in. But if we can get that up to 100%, Nadine, right? Then do you think that taking reservations would be easier?
But I don't know. I feel like self Indonesian are not really aware, are not really confident with self check-in. So if they see something like, okay, this is self check-in, it triggers them to actually ask many questions, even more, actually.
Oh no, we just give them well, they have directions on how to get to the property, right? Once they get to the property, we have directions on how to actually check into the property.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah.
Right? Just go over to the front door. There's a lockbox. Punch in 070605, right? Open the lockbox and then and check in, right? So if we can get this to 100% self check in, everyone, then anybody can take a reservation, right? No training at all. You just this villa is fully self check in. Just check in whenever you want, and anybody on the partner side should be able to set that up, right? All they need to do is to leave the key in the box before they go home, and that's it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Those are the opportunities that I think that Jessica, I'd like BI to start discovering, right? Just it's already there. Airbnb already tells you what essentially is the improvement. If we can go and just find, okay, what is a potential scalable solution? Also, by the way, most of these solutions have already been done by other Airbnb hosts somewhere in the world. You can just look up on Google how self check-in Airbnb guest, right? And you go on YouTube, you can probably see dozens of videos where people have already figured this out. So we don't even need to innovate that much. We just need to copy an idea that works somewhere else and we can just apply it. Okay. But we do need to kind of focus on getting these lists done. Do you think this simplifies things now? Was that a yes? I assume that's a yes, right, Lois?
Is it me, sir? Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right, let's just think about those particular things then. What is it that we need to focus on? Jessica, Bella, and Lilith, I think we talked about BI coming up with a playlist of all the properties we're going to examine, right? And then a calendar system of which we would actually, examine each particular property. Do you think that this can be implemented starting from, I don't know, maybe this week? Lilith, what do you think?
Which one is that? The calendar, like the self check-in?
Yeah. Oh, well, no. From the BI perspective, I think there should be a playlist, right? A list of all the high, let's say, value properties, the medium value properties, and the low value properties, right? Arranged on a list. And then Monday, 6 of the high value properties. Tuesday, we do 3 of the medium properties. Wednesday, we review another 6 high value properties, whatever. So we have a rhythm by which we actually examine each property. And by doing so, I think eventually you'll essentially cover all the different properties for price, content, analysis for what could be improved, and such. And so everything starts just getting kind of moved over to the correct direction. As a mechanism, Wells, what do you think about that?
Mm, I think this week can be started at the end of the week because we still have operations, which actually frictions in technical.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, I think this week